Yeah.
I mean, I only see
So,
half
I mean,
of
come
it,
on.
but
Real Men Rock Pink. It's Friday. It's
well, for
October.
you, knowing you, man, you could have just stopped at real, but now it makes even more sense.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. I keep it real, right? No. It's every Friday. I do sport the pink. It's
Okay.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month is very important to me. And I really want everyone to know to, get yourself checked. If something's wrong. Don't be afraid to go get help. Checking saves lives. Prevention saves lives. It's really important. So,
Well, I spy a new sponsor.
yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah. So let's talk about that. You'll see a couple differences in the screen today. One is that box at the bottom got a lot bigger, and we added a new sponsor. Medical Research Network has officially joined the SOS Alliance. Welcome, Medical Research Network. I tell you when, and I do mean when, we can get Carrie on a podcast on one of these round tables. Just a forewarning, she has the coolest Scottish accent ever. So just that. I think that's going to be your podcast, Carrie. It's P.S. Carrie's got a Scottish accent, and then we're going to have like one of the top viewed podcasts on the industry. So, Medical Research Network. I've known them for years now. They started in like a home health kind of a world where they had the nurses. They're going, they're helping, trying to get the sites what they need. They have some exciting news, and I'm really excited to bring them on. I will not do them justice, so I won't go any further than that. But stay tuned, folks. And thank you to the Medical Research Network, seriously, for supporting the Save Our Sites mission. There's a lot of space down in that box, and today's the deadline, guys. But if there's sponsors out there who are talking to me right now, we can work things out.
There's a few, right?
I've got, yeah. So what happened is SCRS did bring a bolus of sponsors that I wasn't expecting. And so we're going to go through, maybe give them a couple extra weeks, let them talk to their marketing team, see if they want to join. So I anticipate that box below should be full by the next time we talk.
Great.
So today we're going to talk about the agenda. So we had that agenda. Everyone voted on it. We have final lists. Today, let's talk about who we want to speak on these agenda, on the panels. Because we've got a lot. I mean, I've got a line of speakers. So I figured what we'd do is we could just go through each agenda item one at a time. And then why don't we try to pick 3 of our favorites each. So try to pick a site, a CRO, and a sponsor if you can. Comprehensive for these topics. See if maybe between all of us we can
and
get.
I want to see the comments too. Like the comments better be blowing up right now.
I hope so. Let's hear it, guys. So
let's go LinkedIn and YouTube. You heard Dr. Fox.
Yeah, this is your chance. This is your chance to tell us who you want to hear at SOS talk about these topics. And these topics are very relevant because you voted on them. Again, really want SOS to be the conference for the sites, by the sites.
Yep, and we're not dominating the stage. I got one topic I want to share, maybe 20 minutes. We're going to figure out how long that's going to take about content marketing for sites. But that's it. Like, I don't plan on talking a lot. It's, for you guys, it's the sites out there.
For anyone out there who's wondering, just because you sponsor SOS does not lead you a slot in these conversations. If you just so happen to be a sponsor and you are on these panels, you're talking, it's because you're really good at what you do and you're highly respected. I don't want people to think that you can pay your way into a panel. That's not cool. Not cool here. So, all right, let's start with number 1. We've got number 1, of course, it's my baby, it's finance. But the winner was, how can we justify our budget? What do we want to include in the budget? Invoiceables, negotiations, exploratory endpoints. I mean, that itself could be a number of breakout sessions. So this is going to be a pretty consolidated conversation. And we're going to have a really, really good panel. So what are your thoughts? Who do you think? I mean, you know the industry. Who would you want to hear talk about budget justifications, invoiceables, negotiations? And Dan, I loved your exploratory endpoints at the end. That was It's pretty good.
The exploratory endpoints. I mean, that we're all doing experiments here, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. Mercy, in the comments, feel free to ask it. Okay, ask your questions, and any topic we're bringing up. If we ask for suggestions, just shoot them through, and we're happy to accommodate it. This is going to be a conference unlike any conference that's ever been done in the history of clinical research. So, mainly, number one, it's not for profit. I mean, what a concept. It's not being done to make money. And number two, it's actually like all site owners that are doing it. So no one's telling us what to do. These sponsors are our allies. We respect all of them. At least, people on our ownership board have relationships with people there. I mean, I don't know all these companies personally, but one of us does. And that's enough for us to give them permission to be there and promote themselves. But yeah, like Dr. Fox said, this is not about them paying to talk. This is about you guys talking. Mercy wants to get on stage and talk. So she's nominating herself. Unless you want to get on right now, you have to ask
Oh,
Dr.
that's
Fox
so
really nicely.
awesome.
I don't know which one it is. But yeah, back to
I don't know. We'll
exploratory
see.
endpoints. Those are fantastic, Dr. Fox. We love exploratory endpoints in our budgets.
Oh, Dan. Dan, the sarcasm is just look. It's as pink as my shirt right now, man.
I mean, hopefully the sites get. Here's the bottom line on that. My take on this. Hopefully, you're getting paid for all those hoops you got to jump through. Because at the end of the day, us as sites doing our job is not just jumping through hoops. It's doing the study according to GCP. It's keeping patients safe, and then jumping through hoops. So that's where there's the disconnect between what sponsors say they should pay and what sites think they should.
I actually have a question for you guys. I don't know if you have ever included this in the budget. For example, if you have when you have because when you start negotiating the budget, you will not know how long it's gonna take the site initiation visit or actually the training for the study, right? That's actually kind of hidden until you have approved the study and then you start receiving all the emails and then you get to know how much is the training or how long will that take. You
Yep.
usually charge the for example in the case of mental health for the raters training, but you're at that point you don't know how long it's going to take the training, and let's say oftentimes you get surprises like, oh, you have to do this training that might take 1 or 2 days. uh,
That's a
and
very deep. I will say you can get a lot more money for PI training than CRC training because of their profession. I have gotten some studies where they'll pay for 15-minute increments to train the PIs, and a lot of money, like commercial, clinical per hour rates. They'll pay it for PIs. It's really, really hard for CRCs, and you'll get pushback saying it's in your startup, and you just inflate your startup, and they don't like the size of the startup. It just gets crazy. But
because the
it's hit
other
and
thing
miss.
is like if you think about it, let's say for example, if it's a clinic that is starting or is small and they have only one team, right? And this team is the one that is gonna be trained. So basically, the site has to stop business that day to dedicate it to that training.
Oh yeah, I mean 100%. It's definitely an effort. But getting back to, because we've got 6 items to go over here. Let's get some names out there. But for finance, I have some ideas. I ran into some of them during my podcast, but I know on the site level in particular, I don't know if you've heard of Eric Brochard. He works with Edie Edens over at First Class Solutions. He's literally at the University of Indiana for financial compliance. He's an awesome guy, really cool to talk to. Of course, I think Rod would be really good.
Rod Raphael,
For-
yes.
for
I
this
nominate
one.
Rod Raphael.
Yes,
Um,
I vote for him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then Scott Witt. If you ever talk to Scott Witt, I mean, you talk about a business guy. He would be like really awesome at the site side. And so he's a triad.
I would love to
Clinical
meet
trials.
him. I would love
Scott
to meet
Witt
him, but
is-
I nominate Rod Raphael.
Rod was great. On the CRO side, have you ever met Justin Blink Thomas?
No, I'll nominate my CRAs at our site just to like
Heck
cozy
yeah,
up with them.
do it. So we've got
Oh.
Justin Blink Thomas. He's awesome. Valena Trask. You talked to Valena. Want to talk about that on a panel, man? I mean, she'd be really cool on the CRO side. It's hard to find sponsors who can stand up and talk. That gets tricky because they have to sometimes.
I have someone on the sponsor that I would like to nominate,
Yeah,
but
you don't.
I have to ask before.
Mm-hmm. I talked to someone named Lisa Fazioli. She was an awesome site advocate at the site level or at the sponsor level. So I guess my point is, as far as finance goes, there's so many financial voices in the industry. I think it's gonna be really hard to choose from.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think the best way to go will be to have a panel, so that way we have different perspectives, and we get the opportunity to provide more chance to more voices, and obviously that could bring a lot of more diversity of thinking, right? That could lead to better solutions. I would like to also nominate David LaHaye and Lee.
Yep.
And Lee.
Oh, Lee?
Lee. Yep.
Yes.
See, I had them later on my list because we got other topics here. I put them later, but yeah, I mean, they would be spot on. I've seen all kinds. So, just as we go, so we've got 6 items to go through. So Mercy, if you want to come on now, if you want to come on this SOS roundtable, let's get you the information you need if you want to come on now, and you can talk. Or if you want to nominate yourself to be on the panel, if you're coming to SOS, let us know. We'll figure that out.
So a little bit about myself. This industry and research.
Mercy, if Mercy wants to come on to talk about CRA, let's do it. Let's pull an audible. Mercy, we're gonna send you a link. Can you, Dr.
I just
Fox?
need an email. Yeah, give me. Can you give me an email somehow?
I can send it to her LinkedIn inbox because I'm messaging her right now on LinkedIn.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have the ability to get the link? Do you?
Oh yeah, I already have it.
Cool. Yeah. So Mercy, let's get you on here.
All right, Mercy, come on. You get it. You get a chance to let us know what's up. We love having this is real. This is unscripted. Anyone you can accuse us of all kinds of stuff. You can't accuse us of planning things, and following a script. So we keep it as real as Dr. Fox's shirt.
So Katie, I had an idea. So what do you think of this? And let me know how you think this would go.
Mock debate. How about a real debate?
So
let's get Chris up there negotiating with.
No, I would say what would happen if we took our panel? We have a CRO, a site, and a sponsor, right? And let's say that we gave them each a role reversal. You all have to act like the other person. It's like the sponsor has to be the site has to be the CRO has to be the site. Just switch it all around, put in a scenario, and then have them act like, what would you do if you were in this role and this thing happened, and see what they would say. I thought that would be fun.
That would be amazing.
It might be weird to kind of do, but maybe like a creative thing.
Mercy, check your LinkedIn inbox. It's already there. LinkedIn.
So we're already 17 minutes in and having a great time. Let's talk about number 2, patient recruitment, diversity, and rolling marketing and retaining. Another big hot topic. Some of really, really good people in the industry for that. Who do you think could be part of this?
Judy. myself.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's the one I want to talk about a little. You know what
Yeah,
we're
me
doing, and my
too. Me
videographer
too.
is gonna be there. He's the official SOS videographer, but he's also the videographer for Yuma Clinical Trials. So
Mhm.
maybe he'll like turn his big ass camera around and like interview himself, because we're gonna talk a little bit about that, maybe 10 minutes,
Mhm.
and then give people like ideas for what they can go back to their communities and how they can do the same thing. And it's not, you don't need a whole production team, guys. Like, we're willing to invest in a videographer, but you can just get yourself like one of these things and go out
Yep.
in the community and do it. So I'm going to show you how.
Like that olive farm, man. That was awesome. I
Oh,
loved it.
thanks, man. Thanks for watching that one.
Really,
Yeah.
really good. Really, really good. I had so
Chris was a
uh,
co-producer of that, so he's like sits behind the scenes, like the executive producers of shows.
so I have a few ideas. I
Mary,
had a
do the
number.
promotion.
I had a number of people request Danielle Mitchell, and I don't know if she's coming to SOS, but I can tell you, Danielle, a lot of people ask for you, so I hope you might consider coming. I've got, so you guys remember Zane Corbe? Want to talk about diversity in clinical trials?
Tijuana or Baja
Tijuana, Baja
Clinical.
California. Steve Wimmer.
Oh,
I mean, come
I
on.
nominate Steve Wimmer,
I
and
nominate
that's
Steve
nothing to
Wimmer.
do with him being part of One End Health, who's a sponsor.
No, he's just
That's on his own.
And your charge is Steve Wimmer. You've got to make an SOS swag bag video. I mean, come on, that'd be amazing.
Do you think?
I don't know if you
people
saw
will
his
do
swag
that?
bag video for SCRS, but I mean, sheer genius.
I saw it.
Nah.
Mercy, it's in your LinkedIn inbox. All right, so just leave the live stream, go to your LinkedIn, click home on LinkedIn.
You might have to close
then
out your
click
browser and come
messages.
back. Sometimes
Yes.
it takes a minute.
The
for it
link
to
is there
react.
in your inbox.
Ivan. What about Ivan, Dan?
Ivan.
Oh yes.
He's gonna be there too. So yeah, Ivan. Yeah.
Ivan.
I would like to nominate two people. The
Who's that?
first one, her name is Christine Smedley. She is the co-founder of Thriving Blind Academy. She also does research.
Wow.
She just won a grant to do research for blind people. She's an expert on the topic, and she has been in TED Talk. She has a book. She is amazing, amazing. I'm gonna be in a panel with her in one of the conferences, and after I hear her, I was just, I mean, she blows my mind. It's amazing. And then Ronak, he is my
Man, what another good one.
marketing
Another great
people.
one.
We're gonna have tough
Marketing,
choices
and
on this
he
one, man.
is, oh my gosh, you
So
have
maybe
no
I'll step
idea.
down. I'll step down from this one and let all these people do it. I'll just do like 5 minutes, like a 5-minute thing.
I would love to see Samantha Bott sit on there with Sanofi, but I don't know if Sanofi will let her be on there. We'll see. Esther Howard. What about Esther Howard?
Lachelle from Takeda. She's
Lachelle?
also amazing. She has done so much work. Like, she's really, really into doing patient diversity, and I mean, diversity in general, right? And she's an amazing person. There is also another group that they do a lot of community engagement and things like that. Her name is 1 second. Well, one is Joanne, and then Johan, and then the other one is Moner. I mean, I have
Moner
a
from
lot
Cypress
for this. Yes.
Yeah, Moner from Cypress
Yes.
would be amazing. I hope she's coming. I do hope
Yeah.
she's coming.
Yeah.
Have you ever met Sheila Johnson Rocha? Another good one.
The name rings the bell, but I'm not
I didn't
sure.
realize how connected you guys are. This is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, these are. I mean,
I know half these people.
Yeah, this is a conference founded out of LinkedIn, and a lot of the LinkedIn professionals that can come on here, like, this is your chance to hear these people. You watch them post every day, but my gosh, I mean, they're so filled with ideas, and I mean, we could have multiple panels, and maybe like in another year of the conference we will, but mean, these are true thought leaders that we don't see on many panels. And I really hope that these folks are going to come to SOS. And if you are, and that's the important thing, we need you to come. If you're coming to SOS, please let us know because we really want to see you. Mary Costello.
Like no other.
Have you ever met Mary Costello?
Name rings a bell. Fox, I have barely met any of these people, man. I never met you. So
True.
Let's start with that.
The first time we'll be seeing each other is probably at the conference.
Yeah.
Wait. Aren't you going to be at the November
No.
meetup?
By camera. I'll be by camera. I do get to see
Oh, okay.
Brad next week, though. I'll see Brad in Pennsylvania next week. So I'll get to meet him there. But there's a lot. We've got all kinds of decisions, all kinds of people. If you are looking for someone to nominate, we should really look into that. So Dan, this is your baby. And we're going to number 3.
Okay, really quick, Mercy, it's in your inbox. We're waiting.
Yeah, we're
It's in
here.
your LinkedIn inbox.
We're here. Let's talk about that.
Not email, LinkedIn.
Staffing, staff working load versus staff burden and turnover.
Wow.
Training, realistic workloads, research naive candidates. I nominate Dan Safara. that's like
thanks,
Dan's
man.
baby right there.
All right. I mean, I'll take it.
I want James Fowle to sit on this.
James would be good.
I want James Fowle. I think James would be good. Lucia
Julie
Rodriguez.
Galindo.
Rosario, who works for me and Chris in San Bernardino. Is she coming,
Okay.
Chris?
I don't think so, but
You have to
maybe.
force her to come,
Yeah,
and then we can get her on stage.
Have you ever met Lucia
That
Rodriguez?
makes
at
it less
Evolve?
likely, Dan.
So Monica, you would love. So Judy and I both met Lucia at SOS. Lucia Rodriguez, she is an absolute powerhouse in her community,
Okay.
and I think that she could tell a lot about this. That would be a good one.
Trying to think who else.
Judy.
What Judy? Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from us. Get
So
people.
what about Joe Kim? Talking about efficiency. I know it's like a.
But he's
vendor
so
issue.
high level, though, man.
I'll
we
bet
need
you he'd
someone in the
come.
dirts.
We bring Joe Kim.
No, Joe Kim will be there, but I'm talking about staffing, research naive staffing. He's so high level. We need someone in the dirt.
On the ground. So Lucia, and that's hard to find on a CRO level.
Oh, on the CRO level?
Yeah. So on the site level, have you ever met Ali Ahmed from
You know who
Affinity?
I nominate? No, but we can have him. And then Casey Figueroa, who works for us.
Mm-hmm.
She trains CRAs interns from our academy, and she gets all of them are research naive, so she doesn't even know it. But Casey, see you there.
Mm-hmm.
You know she's going. You just said no, right?
We're gonna make her go.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who Peter Fredette is. Long time IQVIA guy. Now he's on the site business sponsor level. Very, very good on understanding workload and bandwidth. That's CRO level.
I need to get out more.
Oh yeah, we've got lists and lists of people we could bring.
Fox is connected. This is amazing, man. How do you know all these people?
One day at a time, have a conversation,
One
and then some of them have a
Fox
conversation
is on another
back.
level. Wow.
I've had meetings all morning this morning. I made 3 new friends, believe it or not. That's cool. Yeah, I just keep talking. Actually, admittedly, it gets bad because there was a post I saw today. Someone's they're looking for call centers, ex-US call centers to tap into. And I know for a fact that I interviewed someone that would be perfect for that. And I couldn't even find it. I've met so many people and learned so many things. I forgot some of the businesses. So,
Ooh, now that we're talking about staffing, Dan, what's the name of this lady that is an expert in HR recruitment that we interviewed her in the past? I have to look for her name. She's an absolute expert.
Well, we had lunch with a guy years ago that specifically recruited for research. It's out there in Irvine. Don't remember that guy's name. There's plenty of these people.
We're gonna need community help from this one, clearly. So, guys, put your nominations.
If you're looking for who do you want to hear talk about staffing, staff turnover, retention, personnel management, who do you think is an expert in the field? And who would you want to talk to? There's some really good options out there.
James Fowl. I mean, he comes to mind.
Oh yeah, James Fowl is the first one. I hope bring James and Lucy on there.
Him and his wife Lucy.
Yeah. If you bring James and Lucy, and they could pretty much run the whole thing.
Well, they could run it from the CRO sponsor side, and then we still need some site people.
I'm telling you, Lucia Rodriguez, she'd take the stage.
Okay, let's get her.
That's
fine.
Absolutely, she would be awesome for it.
Then we're good. We're good.
And we're doing great on time. Let's talk about the next one. Oh yes, actually, this I had people like laying it down, saying, "I want to be on this panel." Period. So paper versus electronic. SOPs, source.
I nominate Chris for team paper. And
Chris
then, no, actually, Rosario. We got to get Rosario to this thing, Chris. I'm going to ask her to come.
Okay, you do that.
I'm going to call her.
As soon as you bring up she's going to be on the stage, she'd say no thank you.
I'm going to blow up her phone, and then Casey too. Those two ladies are coming.
Jess Thompson personally asked for this one.
Is she team paper?
I don't know.
Oh.
She's ex-Pfizer, so maybe she'd really
that
like to be on
this. In regards to team paper, can we discuss the reasons why sites prefer paper? I mean,
yes, that's why we need.
That's a panel, man.
Wait.
Comprehensive.
Maybe we can get Staples to be a sponsor too, and then they can do like paper.
Listen to what I'm saying.
I'm on it, man. I'm trying to get Staples.
What I'm saying. Can we out in the open legitimately discuss why sites prefer paper?
Yes, why not? 80%.
I just say, just have everyone listen.
Are with you on that.
I did a huge I did a podcast on that, and obviously I interviewed Raymond, so we know what his opinion is. But we kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
So some of the pluses and minuses.
I love eSource, eReg. I'm a convert, but to a guy with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And 80%. The fact of the matter is, maybe it's 70 now. 70% of sites still use paper.
Yep.
So clearly, we're in the minority. And
clearly, sites defend the justification for paper, Chris.
Yeah. So we're gonna need Dunder Mifflin or Staples to sponsor this.
Because I can only think of two reasons that sites prefer paper. Right. One, they don't want to learn new technology. Right. They have older staff, maybe, or all their staff's trained on paper. Why do I want to go through the troubles of training staff on new systems?
Yeah,
so that's one.
The other one is the regulatory wiggle room, right? It's all about the regulatory wiggle room.
That's right. It's all
got to be able to have that flexibility because
not only that, but protocol wiggle room too. I mean, that's why they use paper.
Well, there's a third one. It's free. Well, you got to go to Staples.
Okay, cost aside. Absolutely.
All right, Staples. It's still open for one day to be a sponsor.
Come on over, Staples. We give you lots of paper sales.
Start tagging Staples in the comments.
So I was thinking Edie Edens. This is like her baby. Bringing her on in this panel would be really cool. She'd have a good voice. Nicole Palmer. Shout out to Nicole, Miss TMF herself.
The lady with the bow tie, right?
Yeah, bow tie lady. I think Nicole Palmer would be great. I know Mark Wartenberger from Creo asked specifically to be part of this. He has a really good experience in stakeholdership on the sponsor vendor level. Creo is a sponsor, but if Mark were to be on this panel, it'd have nothing to do with their sponsorship. It's just because he's awesome. And then, I mean, there's others. I mean, who else would you want to hear? Talk about this. This is a hot topic. It's 2023 and 70% of our sites are predicted to still be using paper. There's a reason for that. Let's talk about that.
I mean, yeah, why not? That's clearly the majority of sites are still on paper, and that's we suspect that's going to change over time. But why right now are most not using eSource?
And I've had sites went to eSource and then they went back to paper because they got burned. Something happened. So then you've got the whole, now they're never going to trust it. So what, how can we fix that? What's wrong?
Yeah, I used to be team paper.
One of the problems with anything is some sponsors still require some paper, right? Like, and maybe I'm wrong, but to my understanding, many sponsors still want some of the regulatory in paper, right? So they're still stuck using
Right.
both systems.
What we use,
Yeah, but I mean,
we're like 95% paper free, but we went
We're-
from having binders like this to like just binders like
if you
Yeah.
talk about dock storage, Chris, dock storage is like you used to have like 4 boxes of storage.
Of course, yeah, I
paper.
don't know, of course, but
And it goes smaller.
I think once they resolve where 100% can be one way or the other, will be beneficial to the
Yep.
e-systems.
So again, e-paper, listen to me, e-source, e-reg. Who do you want to hear talking about that? We're going to be making some decisions here pretty quick based off who's coming to SOS. Next one's a big one, and I had a huge list. There's so many people good at this. Let's talk about industry relationships and biz dev. Site networks. This is where Inato comes in, right? Inato, the brokers, trying to get those trials, trying to get the relationships with sponsors. Who would you want to hear talk about that?
well,
I have shoe-ins. I have
Yeah,
ones.
in that specific topic, I would like to hear the voice of the sponsor, the CRO, and the site, just because everybody has a different perspective, right? And then the other thing is that I remember we went over with Robert. Actually, I would like Robert to be in that panel.
Robert Goldman.
Yes.
That was
he's
my
on a
number
first
one.
name. He's on a first name basis now.
Yeah.
Robert's big time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would immediately say, please take this if you want it, Robert. I think that Robert would be a really good one for that. This is also where David LaHaye, this is what he does.
Yes.
So this would be a great David LaHaye one.
Chris Auber.
Lee Eifler, also Wheeler and Dealer, great
Chris
business
Auber,
development.
getting site
Chris,
studies.
yeah, Chris is awesome at this. George Zaffris, if you ever talk to George at Molecule to Market, another really good CRO voice talking about
Cool last
relationships. George is from Australia, has an awesome Australian accent. Shout out to George. I hope you're coming. If you want to be on this panel, I'd really like to see you. Daniel Perez. I mean, come on. We didn't mention him in the diversity level, but he's super duper relationship guy.
Yes.
Well, he should be in the diversity one for sure.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, he could have his pick. Samantha Register. I don't know if you've met her, but I just recently met her. For those of you who know, we lost everything in our freezer. Samantha is like, hey, I literally have like a pantry of things that I have to put together for gifts for people who need help. That's part of her normal life. So like, you want to talk about relationships, that was super duper helpful from Samantha, a really good and caring person and really good at building relationships. So there are Aisha Hamid, Takeda. I know she's coming. So we've got some really good. Oh, Dan Otap. I mean, my gosh, Mr. Relationship himself.
Bree Burks, Viva.
Bree Burks.
I would like to also include in there Lachelle again. She's
Yes.
awesome at building relationships.
Yep. So again, this is just us. We're shooting out names, but again, this is totally interactive. So to the people
And
who are
Mercy,
watching
we're
this,
still waiting. We're still waiting.
we're still here.
I don't
still
know.
here.
Maybe she's like changed her mind.
And if you're watching this over the weekend or you're listening to it while you're driving, and a name, some expert pops up in your head, and you want to hear them talk about these topics, shoot us an email. We're going to be finalizing this agenda within the next month or so, and we're going to make sure that we get the speakers are coming to SOS and they're available.
SaveOurSites.com. It's in 111 days.
Dan, while we're doing this, how many tickets have been sold? How many?
286. 286.
286. 286.
Finger on the refresh button.
Wow.
286.
Wow.
286. SaveOurSites.com. 111 days left.
Kelvin, I'd love to see you on here. Everything you say is really cool. If any of these pop up and you have interest, let us know. I'd really like to bring you on here. There's a number of other people that we haven't mentioned yet.
Relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Cassandra Andrade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 100%. Cass is amazing at that. Amazing.
Yep. So we're gonna have some tough decisions, guys. Once we get all this put together,
That one's not tough. Cass has got to get on.
get her on here. All right, let's talk about the last topic, and then we can kind of open it up to conversation for the last few minutes.
Yeah, we'll just share the link in the chat. Anyone wants to jump on, get on.
Yeah, we've got time. Let's do this. PI oversight. So this hits home, right? Because we got Dan. You just had a really awesome visit with Darshan about that. Mm-hmm. Now, honestly, the only sponsor I could think of that could really speak to this was also Robert Goldman. But I think he'd be really good at that. But I've got a lot of sites, a lot of PIs who would be phenomenal talking about this, and CROs as well.
Chris, our client in Florida, Dr. Gonzalez.
Yeah.
I nominate her.
Well, she's been audited a number of times, but me personally, I would prefer to see an auditor, an FDA auditor.
Pat Stone. He wrote the book on it, Bubblegum Badge.
There you go. Bring him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's find out specifically what they look for, right? I mean, the largest finding is lack of PI oversight for most trials.
That's actually true. Yeah.
What specifically are they looking for? Because CRAs, that's their job to make sure that everything's worthy of an FDA audit, and they're missing this. Right?
How about an sponsor auditor?
Mm-hmm.
Or an
not-for-profit sponsor auditor?
Or an IRB.
Mm-hmm. I think this would be a perfect spot for Mitch Hilby. I know that he's a CRA, and I know, we're trying to have an open
that Batman?
It's Batman. Bring Batman.
In
Batman.
Costume, he should wear a costume.
Yeah, with the voice too. Can you imagine Batman auditing your site with that voice?
I would like to nominate also for that a man.
Oh yeah, is she coming?
I'm not sure, but we should be talking with her. She is an expert on regulatory, and I think her point will be very good. And I know we already went off, on a different topic, but on the relationships, I would like to nominate, and we must bring her, Jess Thompson. She is amazing.
She wanted the SOP. She wanted the SOP electronic one when she reached out. She messaged. But yeah, I mean, you want to talk about relationships. She goes to every conference and makes a friend everywhere she goes.
And she also creates meetups.
Mm-hmm. She does the meetup. She does ACRP.
Constantly, yeah.
So I don't know if you've met him, but there's a gentleman by the name of Ade Lawrence from a company called Bioluminex. Ade is from Nigeria. He's ex-Icon. He lives in the UK, and he's also coming to the US to start sites. He is an amazing PI, and he has massive PI oversight. I love hearing his stories, and he's got a really good interest in it. So that is one. I love Stephanie Abbott. I love Dr. Nadej Gunn. I love Emmanuel Gillespie. If you ever met him, he's an amazing PI. Michael Caldwell in Tennessee. These are all PIs that are really adamant about their sites and their trials. And I think that they could talk about, from a PI's perspective, what you could do. Thomas Peterson, shout out to Tom, another CRA. I think that he could also show that. Now, going back to Chris, I get it. CRAs miss PI oversight, but from a site's perspective, it might also be interesting to see what a CRA looks for to judge PI oversight.
Mm-hmm.
So
we lost somebody.
Yeah.
We lost Dan. He's like, oh crap, I gotta provide some oversight. But no, so once I started putting down this list, it made me realize how many dedicated professionals are out there. And if we can bring these guys all in a room together, oh my gosh, what a conversation. What a conversation. Now there's going to be some development around there. I really want SOS, and I know that we really want SOS to show progress. So you risk being very reactive in these conversations. This is how you survive the current environment. That's kind of what a lot of conferences do. I'm really hoping that these speakers can come in and we can try to all take away something that we can do to make things better, not just now, but also, long term. Figure out long-term horizons.
Thought just crossed my mind. The topics. So you just covered the 6 topics that will be discussed at the conference. Are those ranked in order of what people want to see? Right. So PI oversight's 6. Was that?
No. Remember, there were like
Order of
20.
preference?
There were 20 across all the different levels.
No, I
these
know
are
that.
ones that were voted on. So
Okay.
as far these are the top 1 from all those different levels. There were like 6
Got it.
levels we were voting on.
But the first one we discussed today, is that the one that was voted?
No, that has nothing to do with priority.
Okay, so in my opinion, we should rank the categories and present them as such, if at all possible, at the meeting, because obviously you're going to have a clock on each of the 6 different items, right? But what if something runs long, or they all run long? Well, number 6 may not get discussed whatsoever.
So I don't know if we're going to go a linear pathway yet. Some of these may be running at the same time.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And honestly, we'll see how long they go. Like some of these, like my guess is the relationships one and the diversity one, they could take all day. You could have an entire conference dedicated
That's
to
what
those.
I'm saying. We might have that happen. So some
Even-
topics may not be covered.
Yep.
Even budget. No, I mean, I think all of it, because PI oversight, and then obviously budget. All of these topics are so important, or everybody has so much interest on that it could be
Yep.
all day
Yep.
conversation.
I think the
So
biggest
maybe-
challenge we're going to have is definitely to all take something away from each of these topics that's relevant. We could easily just have a crowd of noise over all the different topics. So trying to have very structured, focused conversation where we can all come to conclusions.
Well,
I think that's going to be the challenge.
I haven't seen the facility, but at least from our conversations, I believe it's going to be set up in such a way that really only one speaker or one topic can be covered at a time. I don't know. Dan's seen the facility. Could we have 3 different topics being covered at once in this facility?
like breakout session. Yeah, the place is huge.
All right.
Oh, by the
Put
way,
all kinds of like dividers and stuff. And
so I
Here, I got a new
LaShawn,
cat.
I didn't
Siamese.
forget you.
Oh, look who's here.
Katie.
he thinks he's a dog.
LaShawn
Oh,
Sanders
so cute.
reached out to me today. She would like to volunteer to be on one of the panels.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for LaShawn later.
Oh, absolutely. LaShawn is like a go-getter. I nominate my lead CRC, Katie Welch, to do the Research Naive. That's all she's doing now, is
Mhm.
training Research Naive staff. So I nominate her. I just texted her and she replied, "Oh, geez, LOL." So that means she's doing it.
I mean, she's doing it, but not comfortable
that
doing it.
translates to yes.
In my mind.
So I don't know. I mean, this opens up a lot of things. We have topics, and we're having like these armies of people who are experts in these topics who
Yes.
can speak to it. I'm not sure how we're going to organize this yet.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I know that there
Yeah.
are breakout-ish rooms that you could do. We could have like a main area with breakout rooms dedicated to each topic. You could have some
Yeah.
kind of a schedule.
Why don't we
Yeah,
have
there's-
these rooms going on all day for these topics, and people
Yeah.
can go in and out of whatever one they want?
Mhm.
I mean, that's just throwing something wild out there, but
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be a structure, and we're still developing the structure. And importantly, again, I really want it to be much more than just coming in and talking about your feelings and walking out. Really hope that we can all come together and create something, some kind of a conclusion, solution, whatever it might be, where we can all walk out and be better professionals. That's the objective.
Maybe we can have white papers of everything.
Mhm. Yep.
And I'm
Yep.
not kidding, really. We
Minutes,
can have somebody
notes.
writing
Yeah.
and then create those white papers after we test all those results or information that we got on the SOS.
I don't know about you, but just talk about this. I'm super duper excited.
Yeah,
Me
I want to
too.
go
I'm
right
super
now.
pumped on
Yeah,
Where
that.
do I
let's do
sign up?
this.
Where do I buy my
I
ticket?
can't wait.
Funny you
I
should say
can't
that,
wait.
Dan. No, it's saveoursites.com. You can go register today. By the way, so I was at SOS, or I was at SCRS, and a lot of people we talked to. So yeah, I bought my ticket or I'm buying my ticket this week.
Yeah, we went from like 250 to 286
Wow,
in a short period of time.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm. Thank you to everyone out there who's supporting this mission. In all sincerity, it means a lot to the sites. It means a lot to have this voice, and it means a lot to this team because I know it's been almost a year ago. You remember, Dan? You were like, "Hey, you guys want to start a conference?" That was almost a year ago.
It's a year ago, and it's actually 3 years in the making, 4 years in the making. When me and Chris did our first meetup with Monica in Irvine, unofficial YouTube meetup, and we actually had like 70 people show up out of the blue. So that told me something. That told me there was appetite for it, and where there's an appetite, there will be a meal.
I actually thought it was more than 70. It was like 100 and something, no?
Wow. We had a
In
taco
total.
truck and everything. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Taco truck ran out of food. That way you know you're successful, right?
After I was done with it, it ran out of food.
So you like tacos, Dan?
Oh yeah, it's my favorite food by far.
Are you gonna bring a taco truck to?
I'm not gonna bring a taco truck. You crazy? Talking about? Barely bring myself, man. We could get taco trucks there though. They're all over.
Hey, we're looking for a sponsor for a taco truck. Who wants to sponsor the taco truck? Let us know.
Yeah,
we'll get that out there.
Best burrito in the world, in my opinion, is in Tucson.
Really?
El Güero Canelo. Yeah. Yeah. We
have
have to go to the one on the south side, right? It's like the place where it's the most authentic. South side Tucson.
So, overall,
we need also a sponsor for the bar, the happy place on the.
I thought Chris was buying.
Yeah, sell his Corvette.
I think I heard that last night.
Without those budgets, he's negotiating.
I thought I've been volunteered.
Yeah, Brad is sponsoring that today.
That's why Brad's working overtime so he can pay for the drinks.
There you go.
Yeah, we don't have a sponsor for the drinks, so we gotta get some more patients enrolled. So it's now I should notice. I think I mentioned this, but that blue box got a lot bigger than last month, and
you're talking to a few more. We can't name them.
I can't name them yet because they haven't signed the contract. We're not going to do it yet, but
and then I will talk with Staples to get a paper,
talk to Staples
sponsor.
And apparently Taco Bell. So I don't know, or not Taco Bell, but some taco place.
El Güero Canelo.
Yeah, so we get some sponsors for that. Jeez. Okay. Well, so we got 9 minutes. Let's wrap up. What do you think of the agenda? And what do you think of all of the names that we listed?
Oh, I think it's great. I think there's more names, and I think that there's not enough. I'm really thinking maybe we just have these breakout rooms all day open, and then we have a main stage for like shaking hands with people and networking. Mm-hmm. But then like these little breakout rooms just going on all day. I think that would be like a good way to go about it. It all depends how many people end up like showing up. That's the problem. Mm-hmm. Because you can't have all these rooms and there's only like 5 people in each room. So,
what are you really?
But there's 300. There's close to 300 people, and we still have 2.5 months left to sell. So if we can get it to like 500 people, it might make sense to have like these revolving door for these rooms, mm-hmm. and then just have a main stage for like us to be up there and just shooting the, with people. It's not my channel, so I have to be respectful.
You left a word out there.
Right, it's not my channel. I have to be respectful. you know what I mean, guys?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think once we know how many sponsors, we get a better idea of registrants. We can customize this agenda to the needs of the people who are going to attend.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be where we're going, and that's no conference is doing this. Like, we're literally adapting this entire conference to the needs of our audience, our attendees.
Yep.
So we got to pivot. We're going to be that pivoting conference where we're going to figure out that it's going to be a good situation for the people who attend.
It's gonna be amazing. The people you're gonna meet, the stuff you're gonna learn, right? And the business dev that you're gonna create by being there. It's worth the price. The price is nothing, right?
Yeah.
Your flight and hotel is gonna be more than the price of the conference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a true voice for the sites.
You're muted, Monica.
I would like to see, obviously a lot of sites representatives. We're bringing also lots of students that finish the academy, so they can get. Oh my God!
Wow,
you made it!
Better late than never.
That beard got longer
I
too.
lost my
Hey
cool.
guys.
All right, Brad, I'm gonna shotgun ask you questions. Give me 3 names each section. Let's get this down. Okay, you
Damn,
ready?
let the man
Okay.
breathe.
I got this. We got okay. So, give me 3 names. Try site sponsor, CRO, finance budget, how to justify, invoice, negotiate. 3 names. Who would you want to hear talk about it?
I mean, the first person that jumps to mind is maybe like Joel White.
Oh, I didn't even bring him on. That was good.
I just know he talks, budgets in general. I don't even know where he lands, like who he works for, or if he's just independent consultant. But I know he's a lot of good insights about budgets.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first person that jumps to my mind.
That'd be good to have him on there too, because that'd be like CRO level. I think he was like Parexel CRO, and now he's like his own consultant.
I need to look and see. So I did a Magi talk with somebody, and they were for Syneos, but they were like a budget negotiator for Syneos, and they basically did like it's kind of like an open talk between me and him, mostly me and him annoying each other, in front of a crowd. But I'd be curious if that's something he'd be open to doing again in a broader sense, like with a bigger audience.
All right. So what would you do for patient recruitment?
I'd like to hear like Nelson Ruttrick.
See,
Nelson.
Brad's got.
See, I wish you were here, man.
Nominations, man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, he has a sort of an interesting model. I know that's not because they're not affiliated with the clinic per se. I believe they do a lot of advertising, but are still like an independent site.
Yeah.
And apparently do extremely well.
Well, he's standalone, and he shared his vendor with me.
Yeah, me too.
Well, yeah, I'm having talks with those guys. Actually, me and Chris and Jaime are supposed to be on. Maybe we can get them as a sponsor too. I'm supposed to talk with them. I don't want to name them in case he's trying to keep them like secret,
Right.
All right. What about paper versus electronic? That whole conversation.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough one. Jeffrey Smith. You familiar with that guy?
Yep, True Blue, right?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I talked to him about it previously. I think I did a podcast with him back when they were very first starting out. So he's probably got some pretty good insight. Actually, I sat through a session at Socra about this, but it was from a more sort of academic site.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, it was just like, I don't know if the guy was listening to this, he did a great job, but like I found it just really dry and not that helpful, frankly. It's kind of the stuff you would assume. It wasn't that much about the true integration with like your CRCs. It was more about like the process of getting things switched over, which I just was like, okay, well that's kind of the easy part, quote unquote. But like actually getting your people to adopt it and all the things that kind of go along with that.
Oh yeah,
might be nice to get some more insight.
Adoption. That's a really, really good point. What would you do for staffing, like workload and overburdening of CRCs?
That's a tough one. I don't know if I'm being perfectly honest. Did LaShawn Sanders reach out to you? I know she's interested in doing
Yep.
some talking.
Yep,
That
we
may
got
be
LaShawn. Yep.
that may be a topic that
Sean would be good.
she would be
we were
interested
saying
in.
we're saying James Fowl and Lucy.
Oh yeah.
Obviously
I
modern
guess they're
folks.
more on the recruitment side. I'd like to hear from somebody who like runs sites.
Yeah.
Katie
And
Welch. I got Katie Welch.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Hey, guess what? You missed the announcement. Staples is going to be one of our sponsors for
Don't
the
get us in
paper
trouble, man.
for the paper source.
I mean,
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
That's almost not a joke. I mean, that's not
No,
a
no,
bad
I'm trying-
idea.
I'm trying to get them on. Like, we'll see.
I mean,
So what about?
they've definitely benefited from the lack of adoption in the industry for sure.
I just saw
Or
that.
Dunder
Brad, you have
Mifflin.
a hat.
Oh yeah, I
You
got that.
got a hat,
That's sick, man.
dude. That's awesome.
That hat's sick.
Have
Wow.
some fun
Okay.
with it.
He's got the Air Force Ones too, the high tower ones. I need to get some emo ones soon, but we can't afford to get.
I'll do a new one this year.
Wow.
I
I'm
can't
still
wait
rocking
for
all of
your
them.
shirts.
So
Yeah,
Brad,
I had a little setback on making some shirts for the people who I promised. So please hold tight. I'm going to have some shirts out to some people I promised them to.
What about discussion of industry relationships? First few names that come to your mind.
Again, I'm a little bit of a loss for that one. Who did you guys come up with?
Cassandra Adrande from Latinos in Clinical Research.
She's a
David LaHaye.
PR.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. What about I don't know much about this guy, but I see him everywhere. The Casey guy from Senexil.
Oh, Casey Orvin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
isn't that kind of his domain?
he's all over the place there.
You can try
Like,
Greg Lipset.
Like she
Oh,
from
dude, wow,
Takeda.
Craig, like the master he's coming, right?
He's only been. I can't believe he's only been nominated after the first hour. This is amazing. We have an amazing lineup.
So yeah, Craig actually has been giving us some. The conference I spoke at with him, he pumped us up and gave us a nice plug for SOS. So I thought that was
He
really
should be. Yeah,
really
I'd
generous of
love
him.
to get him on. Craig's a cool dude.
He's
I only
like-
met him in person once.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there you go, Craig. I mean, there's a shout out, man. If you want to be on the panel, let us know. That's a good one.
We'll have to get with his people. He's
got like an agent or something.
He's
He's a
got
very-
people.
he's
Oh
just
my
a-
gosh,
yeah, he's everywhere all the time. So
man.
All right. So, Brad, what about PI oversight?
So this is, I would actually like to hear, maybe this is like a different slant on it, but like somebody who had some hand in the DCT guidance with like that can speak to PI oversight in a new model. Do you guys know this Isaac Rodriguez Chavez? Is that a name that's familiar to you?
No.
I don't know. I think he's doing consulting now, but he had some hand in the DCT guidance. He's worked for FDA previously. I saw him speak at a conference, and he actually did kind of touch on PI oversight. Again, he may be too important to come to our conference, but I think it'd be worth reaching out to him.
I invited Pat Stone too, a former FDA auditor. He wrote the book Bubblegum Badge.
Okay.
He said he's down. I texted him and he said, yeah, he's gonna do it. So
Jonathan Helgoft, he wrote some of the guidance about electronic source, but I still think he had a hand and has some opinions about PI oversight. Because I mean, ultimately, who's going to judge what constitutes good PI oversight? I guess, right? Like, is it going to be the FDA? Is it going to be
FDA
or CRO or sponsor partners? Is it going to be the PIs themselves? I guess it's everybody, but yeah, I mean, ultimately, it comes down to what the FDA sort of has a stomach for, right?
Yeah, I mean, CareX has passed with flying colors. So.
It's another podcast, Dan. Too soon.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was going to get brought up.
We went a whole hour without talking about it.
There's nothing to discuss. I mean, they did a good job.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to them.
According to Reddit, too.
No findings. No findings. So, I mean, Brad coming in for the win there at the end. Really, really great names. We've been talking for an hour. You just came in and bam. There's all kinds of other names here. We can go over them another time, but really exciting lineup. Really exciting lineup.
Yeah, I heard a little bit as I was driving back over to the office. I mean, to your point, like there's a lot of great people in the industry, man. You know, the more we talk through, the more like all these names pop up, and you're like, you're like, damn, this is actually pretty cool that there's so many names that jump out when you think about these things. I mean, that's kind of encouraging, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
It
there's a lot
is.
of people.
Unfortunately, the majority of them don't have a platform to speak and share their knowledge or to give or to share this. I mean, yeah, obviously, or their experiences and things with the sites or with the industry as a whole. So that's for us is on our benefit too, because we will be that platform. And it's only going to enhance the industry more.
I agree. All right. Well, that concludes the roundup, the roundtable for October. Happy
I put the link out there.
Yeah,
I put the link, but nobody came on.
Yeah, I know we had a potential visitor, Brad, but I think we had some technical difficulties.
I think you can't click it. You know, you have to copy and paste or manually type that thing in. So, it might be tough. That's where paper source comes in handy. You know,
just write it down.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on trying to get staples there. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be good. I like it.
I'll take charge of that one.
All right, there we go. I lagged for a minute. www.saveoursites.com. Please feel free to register. February 2nd, 2024. The agenda is coming. The speakers are coming. The sponsors are coming. Everything is coming together. We've got this. So happy Friday, everyone.
Have a good
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow.